guys, so in this video I am going to be sharing with you 10 tips on how to survive your freshman year of high school. I honestly wish that I knew these things before I started freshman year because I was so ridiculously nervous. I hope that you guys have been enjoying my back to school series so far, and if you have, be sure to give this video a thumbs up to prove it to me that you've been liking these videos, because I have a couple more coming before back to school. This is a collab with the amazingly nice and beautiful Adrian Finch. I will link her video right here. She's also doing a back to school video that's going to help you guys out a lot. If you don't know her from Just Like That, if you don't know her from her regular channel, you definitely need to go and subscribe to her. Tell her I sent you because I love her so
20 minutes later.
So much. And if you click here, it'll open a new tab and bring up Adrian's video, so you can go and watch that after you finish watching my video. I hope you guys find these helpful, and let's get started. The first tip that I have might be a little bit obvious, but you know, a lot of people have this concern, and it's just to not be afraid of upperclassmen. They're people just like you, and everybody thinks, especially because of like the media and movies, that seniors are gonna come and specifically pick on freshmen and just like push them around and make you seem like you're fresh meat or like you're nothing. Just because you're a freshman doesn't mean that you're gonna get picked on, so seriously, don't worry about it. Tip number 2 is definitely something that I think needs to be said, and that is that people change a lot over the course of one summer, especially the summer between 8th and 9th grade. You're going from middle school to high school. People purposely change. Sometimes they just change because humans change, like biology, anatomy. It's very important that you accept those changes because they're inevitable. They're gonna happen to your friends, they probably will happen to you, and they're not always a bad thing. Granted, sometimes they are, but change can be good, and I think that's something you definitely need to keep in mind. My next tip is probably something you've heard before. What you put in is what you get out. This applies to everything, especially freshman year of high school. So many people think that, you know, freshman year doesn't matter, like colleges don't look at that, whatever, like I'll pull up my grades later. Don't get in that mindset. Academic opportunities appear freshman year, and a lot of times people ignore them because they're just like, oh, I'll do it later. And then later becomes never, so you just wasted an opportunity. In addition to all of that, freshman year you'll probably notice that you're a bit more independent. Teachers aren't going to ride your butt about doing your homework. If you don't do it, that's your choice and that's your problem. Basically, what I'm trying to get across with this point is that you should really try freshman year, even though it's freshman year, and you should put in a lot of effort, and I promise you, you will be rewarded later, even if you don't know it. Tip numero cuatro is to branch out freshman year. This doesn't mean leave all of your old friends or leave all of your old beliefs and everything, but it's good to try a couple new things, and you never know, you could find something that you love, and you're never going to find something like that if you don't try, so branch out. Another tip I have is that everyone is in the same boat. You're all going into 9th grade, you probably have the same worries, so don't stress about it. You're not alone. So many other people have felt this before. They've all gone through it. Mostly all of them. You'll get through it. If you're concerned about something, talk to an older sister, a friend that's already past 9th grade, or even someone in your own grade, and just talk about what you're worried about and why it's ridiculous and why you shouldn't be worried about it. It'll make you feel better. Trust me. Tip number 6 is that high school is not what you see in the movies. For the most part. No one's gonna Xerox copy a burn book with all these mean things that they said about people and post them all over the school. It's not gonna happen, so just don't watch movies and assume that everything that's portrayed in the movie actually happens in real life, because in most cases, it doesn't. I mean, let's be real, would you want to watch a movie of some kids sitting in school bored out of their mind? No. They have to make it more interesting, so it's not always true. I'm pretty sure we're on tip number 7-ish, like around there. But anyways, this tip is to find a balance between your social life and your academic life, because a lot of people don't, and that's not gonna work out. On one hand, you don't want to be that person missing out on a party or missing out on the big football game because you're studying for classes, but at the same time, you don't want to be the person that's going to all of these things, but they're failing 3 classes. it's a hard balance to find. With that being said, your balance shouldn't be 50-50. Honestly, it should be 60% academics and 40% social, because academics are something that's really important, and even though you want to meet everyone and do really cool things in high school, it's also pretty important that you stick to the books. This next tip is something that I think a lot of people ignore, and that is the fact that you need to be your own person, and you shouldn't do something just because your friend is doing it. And that can apply to so many different things. Here's an example. You and your friend are sitting down and signing up for classes. Your friend chooses accounting and is trying to convince you why you should do accounting because then you might have it together. And you're sitting there thinking, accounting is so boring. That does not sound like something I'm interested in doing at all. You have two choices: sign up for accounting and hope that it's with your friend, or you can do what you actually want to do, which could be something completely different. I've witnessed this myself. Some people will just choose something just because their friend is doing it. And this doesn't have to be with classes, it could literally be with anything that applies to peer pressure. If they're interested in something you're not, you don't have to do it, so don't feel pressure to do it. Tip number 9 is short and to the point. You're probably gonna have to study, and I know that hurts to say. For me personally, it probably hurts for you to hear. But it's true, if you haven't studied, you need to start studying because grades are pretty important in high school. Tip number 10 is probably my favorite tip, and it kind of just combines everything into one, but it is to be yourself from day one. Freshman year is obviously the start of high school, and too many people will go into freshman year and pretend to be someone else. They'll put on this whole superficial act, and it's just like a cover for who they really are because they're afraid to show that side, or maybe they don't want to, but it's something that you need to do, and you really do need to be yourself. And so many people are focused on this fake image of themselves, and they're just holding themselves back. This whole thing sounds extremely cheesy, but it's so true. So please just be yourself and be able to love yourself, and I love you too. So that is it for this video. Hopefully you guys got something out of it and you can go into freshman year feeling a bit more confident. If you're not going into freshman year, comment what grade you're going into because I want to know. These tips can be applied to a lot of different things. Obviously they're specifically towards freshman year, but you can look at them and apply them to all parts throughout your life. So I hope you guys like this video, and I love you, and I will see you very soon. Bye!